Well, happy happy Taco Tuesday. Happy Taco Tuesday to everybody. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, adjusting his mic. Welcome to Bedtime Stories. Stories. Sounds like my voice is changing already. Like Peter Brady, right? When it's time to change. Good evening and welcome to Bedtime Stories, the show designed with the lovers in mind, where we put you to bed but never to sleep with the greatest love songs of all time. Thank you to my lead in on Tuesday, DJ Kenny G. I didn't hear him talking much, but I know he was there. I know he was there. I heard the music. Anyway, Deron Williams, glad to see you as well. Welcome to the show. Welcome to all of my viewers on Facebook. I appreciate you. All of my listeners on WOSD, DB Chicago, also to WRLN Radio, all of our listeners on Ray Neal Media, as well as those that listen to me on Professor Reggie Miles' station, which is WBOE, which is the best of everything, and My Jam Radio, I believe. Anyway, for those of you on Facebook, I'm Al Greer on Facebook. That's ALGREER at gmail.com. I'm sorry, Al Greer on Facebook. And of course, alpgreer at gmail.com. That's if you'd like to make a donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Coming up in the last hour, we do a thing we call foreplay. 4 songs by one of your favorite artists or groups, male or female. That's in our last hour here. And throughout the night, it's who did it best. And we'll find out. Henry Cooper just checked in. He's usually the second person to check in on Facebook. Duran is first, and third is usually my sister Angie, but she's still packing to go out of town tomorrow. She's leaving. She's still leaving. She's supposed to leave today, but But anyway, here's some leftovers from foreplay last night from the birthday girl who made 60 years old. Here's Janet Jackson, and let's wait a while here on Bedtime Stories. Good evening, good evening. Mm-mm. 'Too far. Let's wait a while. Gentlemen, gentlemen. So good. Mm-mm-mm. Excuse me while I warm up my dinner. Mm-mm.
I told you to leave him to me. If he's the only thing standing in our way, I can see it now. You can see what now? A charge plate that says Mrs. Lamont Sanford.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Stop it, Janet. Funny how time flies from the Control album, right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, on this Taco Tuesday. Had my tacos earlier this afternoon. There's a taco truck that sits outside of U.S. Bank on 63rd and Homestead. And of course, they have a special every Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. So I said, okay, I'll have today's special. I'd like three of the chicken tacos. He says, well, we only have the jerk chicken tacos. I'm like, wait a minute, this is a taco truck. How could you run out of chicken on Taco Tuesday? I was like, never mind. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'll take the jerk. And they were good. I got three. They were very good. Shout out to I forgot to get his name. But anyway, I forgot to get his name. But you know who you are. It's the taco man in the truck in front of the U.S. Bank on 63rd and Homestead. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. Hello to Deron Williams and Henry Cooper checking me out on Facebook. You can too at Al Greer. That's Al Greer on Facebook.com. Here's Free Life.
Yeah.
I'm back. Julio. He's no Fulio. Uh, See, when they make Kool-Aid in this house, they use at least a half a bag of sugar. I'm like, good grief. Y'all gonna have the sugar. Y'all gonna have the sugar diabetes. So what I do is put some ice in the cup, throw some water in the cup, and put the Kool-Aid on top of the water and the ice. Kind of stir it up a little bit until it's not too sweet. Because, like I said, they use like a half a bag of sugar in about what is it, a gallon. So shake it up and then let it dilute. Then it's at the right taste for me. I don't know about them. They have it tasting like pancake syrup. I'm like, good Lord.
From back in the day with Al Greer on Bedtime Stories.
I'm like, ooh, y'all be killing it. Y'all meaning the people who live in my house, my son and his friend girl. Yep. Mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Go insane. Not bad. This is cheddar broccoli soup. Not bad.
Well, one butt cheek said to the other cheek, together, we can stop this shit, man.
Okay. Okay, let's try this again. I wasn't ready for you yet, buddy. There we go. Prince and call my name. Right here on Bedtime Stories. There's just a way. How can I put it? How can I put that? Okay. What did I press? Okay, let's do this. I'm tempted not to stop it. I'm like, okay. Anyway, let me tell my story first while the computer's doing its own thing. And fellas, you can chime in if you like. When your wife or your significant other calls you by a certain name, you know, everybody has a nickname. You know, sweetie, pumpkin head, pumpkin, whatever. But when your wife, your significant other, or your girlfriend or boyfriend calls you by your government name and says it in a way where it's just so sexy that you just have to turn around, smile, laugh, and just give her the biggest hug and kiss that you can. Say my government name. And if you say it right, you'll get your way. Trust me. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, now Luther. Thank you. He said this was one of the most beautiful songs ever written. And I have to agree. Bobby Eli, Vinnie Barrett. Bobby Eli, of course, was part of the group MFSB, later on the Salso Orchestra. And his wife, she wrote or co wrote some of the songs along with the Spinners. They both co wrote songs for Margie Joseph, Blue Magic, and Major Harris. Here's Luther's version of Love Won't Let Me Wait on Bedtime Stories. Good God. You next to me. Woo. Mm, mm, mm. Uh, need some more gentle mix of that good old Kool-Aid. Mm. Love won't let me leave. Woo. Glad I don't use makeup when I'm on. Just a bright old light. Wait. Mm. Mm. Good Lord. Mm-mm. Two. Yo, Angie. What's up? What's up? Lady G. Major Harris, who got his chops singing with the Delphonics. He replaced Randy Kane. That is Love Won't Let Me Wait, his only big hit. Mm. Well, if you had to have a big hit, have a big one like that one. Love Won't Let Me Wait. Before that, Luther in his version of Love Won't Let Me Wait. Same song he performed in his live album, the only live album he produced. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. Hello to Angie Martin Turner, my sister from another mister. Henry Cooper. Once again, Deron Williams. Lady G. Thank you for checking in to Bedtime Stories. Here's the great Michael Franks, the first of two in a row. I've got only one bad habit. And she's looking in the mirror right now.
Run by the rock till the sunrise, as everybody knows I'm disciplined.
He got one bad habit. Franks. Whew. I guess you saw my comment on your post. In the words of Millie Jackson, I had to say it. Wasn't gonna let nobody talk ish about you. Thank you. uh, that is interesting. I usually don't. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't address his. You know, it's like I just find it hilarious. I really do. He's got nothing better to do with his time, and that's okay. It's like the feud between Kimmel and the so-called president of the United States. You know, but I'm not going to give him any energy. I'm not. Nor am I going to take the post down, which would be stupid at this point to take it down because so many people are trying to see what the big deal is. And once they see what it is, they're like, "Well, what's wrong with him?" You know, either either you're going to help the cause or you're just going to hurt yourself. So I really, don't pay it no mind. People say, well, why don't you take it down? I'm like, take it down for what? No. Why should I do that? If I take it down, it's giving him the satisfaction that he won. One what I don't know what he's trying to what he's trying to prove, but like okay, keep doing it because more people uh, are for me than there are against me, and I just let it go. Like my mom used to always say, just water off a duck's back. So like Chris Bass used to say, here's to the good people and the bad people. Which one are you? Hey, you choose. You have to pick and choose your battles, and that's one that I'm not in. I'm a part of. I'm named in it, but the real battle is within himself. You know, what is he supposed to gain from this? From downing another brother. I'm like, we should be able to pull each other up, and that's it. So for me to take it down and be like, oh, well, I'm ashamed. If you look at my comments and look at his, I decided to take the high road, and that was to, you know, tell him, well, I'm sorry you feel that way, but God bless you, and you know, I hope you're never in that situation, and that's it. Where you robbing Peter to pay Paul, you're like, okay, I'm getting this amount of money a month, and I got to stretch this to the phone bill, the car note, the car insurance. So you know, go with what you know. You know, if you are, and I keep saying this. There was a preacher that said, if you don't have any haters, then you're doing something wrong, because everybody's not going to like you. You know, I guess he feels like he's teaching me a lesson or something. I don't know what that lesson is. Oh, don't be broke anymore. Okay, yeah, you got me, bro. Ooh, oh my goodness, yeah, you got me good. I'll never be broke again. God willing, and the creek don't rise. I do well with what I get, and that's it. But let him keep talking. I don't know how me and the candy lady got on the conversation about feet tonight. Feet and toes. Yeah, of course they go together. But it's like, I was mentioning some of the most beautiful women have the most unattractive feet. It's like everything else is taken care of. They got the eye makeup, they got the eyelashes, the eyebrows, eyeliner, lip gloss. I'm sorry, lip gloss, and everything else. You know, hands looking immaculate. But then you get past her ankles, and it's like, oh, y'all remember that movie Boomerang? Leela Rashawn, boy, she got ribbed for that for years. You know, until she played Sunshine. They saw her as Sunshine in Harlem Nights, so it wasn't so bad. She was Lady Heroine. But boy, oh boy, when they put that camera on her feet, and I don't think that was her feet. No, I don't think so. But everybody in the theater laughed except my date at the time. She was like, I'm sorry, I don't see the joke in that. I said, I know, babe. I know. Yeah, she was fine all the way down to her ankles. Here's little Anthony and the Imperials on Bedtime Stories. What'd you say, Lady G? Hell no, don't take it down. You're my friend, and I'm going to defend my friends. Thank you. Let him let him stew in his own juices. You know, no weapons formed against me shall prosper. So I don't know what he intends on doing by attacking me. But I don't know. What is going to be the outcome? That's a good question. The outcome will be that I'll continue to get money and he'll continue to be a hater. And that's it, you know, until I decide to take the whole thing down. But with the donations continuing to come in, and I'm not working, I figure why not? But he's he's not doing anything but making me look like a saint, which I'm not. And in no ways am I trying to be anything more than a child of God. I'm a king's kid, you know. I do my due diligence in church, and that's it. And I pray. I don't know who he prays to, you know, but yeah, knuckle straighten out. But why would I take it down, Lady G? He's promoting for me. He's promoting for me. That's the best part. That's the best way to promote somebody is to down them. You know. He'll have to answer to his maker when that time comes, and that's it. Bless his heart. What would Jesus do? Feel like, sorry you feel like that, my brother. Can I offer you a palm branch or something? No? Okay. It's like Cat Williams and Kevin Hart. Okay. My thing is, tell me how you really feel, sir. It's like Trump talking about Obama. Obama doesn't deserve what he's getting. Like, okay, you say so. Keep keep on trumping it up, sir. Keep on. That is both sides of I think it's the Veep or Imperial, not Imperial. Yeah, Imperial 45. Is it Veep? Let me check. United Artists. Neither. Okay. I was wrong. Well, that's what fact checking is all about. Anyway, Lady G is going in on Oprah's feet. She says all that money she got, and can't get them knuckles straightened out. She could, but then she would have, you know, at least a month off of each foot. Yeah, you can't get both feet done at the same time. It'll be hard to walk. So you got to get one foot done and then the other foot done. It's kind of like when you go to get LASIK surgery. You can't get both eyes done in the same day. You won't be able to see. So you have to go 1 week and then 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, and you go back. So, and she said, true that. Well, God's going to handle him and all them other haters. Like the phoenix from the ashes, you will still rise. Thank you, Lady G. I appreciate that. And if you want to know what we're talking about, there's a comment on Facebook or several comments on Facebook about me. But I'm not going to go into it. Just go to my Facebook page and check it out. All right. This is the original, not the remake. The remake, of course, done by George Benson on his Give Me the Night album. This is Heat Wave. And this got omitted from the album because there were too many cuts on Too Hot to Handle. Here's Turn Out the Lamplight from Heat Wave on Bedtime Stories. Hmm. Yep. He ain't doing nothing but fighting to himself. Yes, Lady G, that was Heatwave's version of Turn Out the Lamplight, written by Rod Temperton. And of course, first recorded by Heatwave. Now, here's what happened. They ran out of space on the LP. Now, what happens is it shows up on the CD, the American CD that was released. There are two different ones. One, of course, in the United Kingdom, which was released a whole year before we got it in 1976. Yeah, it was released on GTO Records, which was a label in London, England. So once it became a hit over here, then we heard Boogie Nights on the other side of the pond. Yep. But the original LP, of course, omitted that song because, well, there was a little too much room. There wasn't enough room on the album. So that's the story. So we'll hear George Benson's version next on Bedtime Stories.
A Survivor Celebration, Sunday, June 7th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Columbus Park Reflectory, 5701 West Jackson Boulevard. There'll be games on wheels, free health screenings, a Michael Jackson tribute show featuring Rico Michael Jackson, Middle Eastern dance lessons, and music by Dr. Al Greer of WOSDRadio.com. It's free and open to all ages. To register, learn more, and purchase VIP tickets, visit www.peerpluscares.org. www.peerpluscares.org. Check-in will be required upon arrival. That's Sunday, June 7th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Columbus Park Reflectory, 5701 West Jackson Boulevard. It's a Survivor Celebration on National Cancer Survivors Day. Brought to you by Night Out in the Parks and Peer Plus. 3E's Video and Editing Service and Photography 2 have developed a new wave in video and photography. 3E's Video is the only top-tier video and photography company that offers you to view some of your wedding, party, and event pictures and video clip the very next day on our social media.
Good evening, this is Al Greer.
3E's Video and Editing Service
Hey, son.
is number one in the Midwest. We bring affordable video, photography, and superb editing.
It just has the phone number 224-237-5859. That's all that shows up, not your name.
And an 8x10 picture mounted in a frame. With over 20 years of experience, they freeze precious moments in time through great videos, photos, and superb editing.
Love you too.
Call at 312-623-9587. 312-623-9587. Their motto is
Okay, cool.
Results at economic prices. 3E's Video and Editing Service and Photography 2.
I'm good, sitting here doing my show.
If you're into Southern Soul, then you gotta listen to this one. Born Thomas Melvin, but better.
All right, love you too, man. Okay.
Thank you.
Love you too. Love you. Bye-bye. All right.
He puts the soul in Southern Soul, and he always delivers. The Mailman. And thank you. Available on all.
And he just recently had a birthday. Happy birthday to Thomas Melvin, a.k.a. the Mailman. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories on WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WRLN Radio, a Ray Neal media station. That's Rayford Leonard Neal, since he's always saying my government name on his show. And also WBOE and My Jam Radio. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. We heard the original version of Turn Out the Lamplight, which was supposed to be on the album Too Hot to Handle, which was the same album that gave us Boogie Nights, Always and Forever, and Ain't No Half Steppin'. It was omitted from the album because there wasn't enough room. Well, fast forward to a few years later, George Benson got a hold of it, and it was featured on his album Give Me the Night, produced by Quincy Jones, written by Rod Temperton. Here's Turn Out the Lamplight on Bedtime Stories. Coming home. I know. Mm-mm-mm. Just you and I. Wow. I mean, if you're not gonna eat it, I'm not gonna leave it out. Oh, sure. It's like it's serving in the restaurant. Did you have some broccoli cheddar or some chicken? Broccoli and cheese, whatever else, and whatever. Pow, 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 pow. Vaginal odor?
All of your favorite slow jams from back in the day with Al Greer on Bedtime Stories.
Mhm. Mm. George Benson from the album Give Me the Night and Star of the Story, originally done by Heatwave. Heatwave also did Turn Out the Lamplight. That's how you have to say it in their accent. Turn Out the Lamplight. And of course, that was from the album Give Me the Night. Produced by Mr. Quincy Jones on his label, which was Quest at the time, distributed by Warner Brothers, which was the reason why he could no longer produce any albums on the Brothers Johnson, because he was signed to Warner Brothers. So they released an album that did absolutely nothing. It was produced by, I think, Leon Silvers. Leon Silvers couldn't quite get the groove that they had put together with the songs from Rod Temperton and, of course, Quincy Jones. So they put out what was more or less a mainstream album. It wasn't a funk album. It was a mainstream R&B album. Didn't do too well. So later on, Quincy decided he was going to sign one of the brothers to the label, and that was George. But without Lewis, just wasn't the same. George and Lewis Johnson. Here's Heatwave, the original version of Star of the Story, here on Bedtime Stories with the Peanut Butter Brother, Dr. Al Greer. Lady G. Mhm. I'm going to put a name up there. Joan Rivers wasn't a bad-looking lady until she started having all that plastic surgery, and she started to look like Waylon and Madam. I'm just saying. That is Isley Jasper Isley. Yep. Marvin Isley, Chris Jasper, and of course Ernie Isley on guitar. which were the band for the Isley Brothers. So when they broke off, they were like, okay, what are we going to call ourselves? So they called themselves by their names, Isley, Jasper, and Isley. That is giving you back the love from the album Different Drummers. It's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. Happy birthday to Liz Carr and also to her daughter, I should say. Happy birthday. Let me get you all weren't born on the same day but days apart from each other, I think it is. Yeah. But happy birthday nonetheless. They wanted to hear this from Russell Tompkins Jr. and or the Stylistics. Here's Russ's version of People Make the World Go Round here on Bedtime Stories. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, good God. Didn't get no nap today. The original and the remake, both done by Russell Tompkins Jr. Let me tell you a little story. The Stylistics did not perform on that song. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert. No, they did not. No. The singers on that song were the Sigma Sweethearts, featuring both Tom Bell and I think Kenny Gamble sang on those. Tom Bell did not like their harmony, so therefore he took them off of their albums. But of course, they appeared in the album covers. So there you go. Russell Tompkins Jr. a few years later made or remade some of the songs that made him famous as the leader of the Shy-Lights. That was one of them. People make the world go round, right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Spoiler alerts. Well, I don't know if this is a spoiler alerts. If you give furniture to the Goodwill, you might as well just keep walking and throw it in the alley because certain things they will not accept now. And that includes beds. Yeah. Come to find out, some of the mattresses, you know the story. Yeah. Good night. Don't let the bed bugs bite. Well, some people are turning in those rather nasty, yeah, beds or the let-out couches because they contain a mattress, and the mattress contains, yes, you guessed it. So certain furniture they will not take anymore. Clothes they're fine because the clothes can be washed and in hot water or whatever, but they're not taking any more furniture. So if you go to Goodwill and they have furniture in there, know that they're going to mark it down so it can get out immediately. Here's Angie Stone and her version of The Makings of You on Bedtime Stories. or a half dozen. Doesn't have to be a whole half. Whole, you know. Oh, I'll give you that, but hell, doesn't have to be a whole dozen.
You have multiple Waynes in there. Be back. I am Greg Wayans. Hey, what's up, huh? Oh, I was drafted with the 11th pick of the Wayans family. We squad deep. It's good. You're teaching the young ones how to do it. Oh. There's me, John, Lil David. Damn! Kim. This white girl can't down my shit. I love working with my brothers. I'm a DI. This makes me wonder why I wasn't in 1 and 2. Craig. It's like a big reunion. Sean C. It's gonna be dope. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be super Wayans. Leo. The original cast is back. I'm about to see my dad on camera. My daughter, Marlon's son, and my son doing a scene in here too. Which uncle does the script feel most like? What's up, y'all? Definitely Marlon. I call it Shorty Movie 6.
Here's how to grow your audience with 0 marketing skills.
The remake and the original. The original, of course, done by Gladys Knight and the Pips. That's not even right. The original was done by Curtis Mayfield on his album Curtis. He then gave it to Gladys Knight for the soundtrack of Claudine, in which several people have covered it since then. But they have covered it as the Gladys Knight version. Yeah. So there you go. The Makings of You, originally done by Curtis Mayfield, redone by Gladys Knight, and also remade by Angie Stone. right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. There was recently a altercation at a club called the Family Den here in Chicago, where a gentleman was seriously injured by the name of House. Why are we still doing this? It's like, okay, I heard he was I believe he was a security guard, I think it was. And there was quite an altercation at the Family Den. If anyone was there, hey, give me a call, 773-519-1223. Tell me all about it. If you were there or, knew someone who was there, I'd like to find out exactly what happened at the Family Den the other night. I was supposed to be there last night for my son's, not my son, but my, my nephew's birthday party. And I don't know if it went down on Monday or sometime over the weekend, but my thing is, it should not have gone down at all. Tony D. Bailey made a bold statement. She is a owner of a club called the R's Lounge, which is in Country Club Hills. And the statement was to bring the age of people who can come into the club to like 40. And I think, yeah, 40 and change the music. Where we have all these DJs out here who play uh, old school hip hop, new hip hop, uh, not clean hip hop. Let them listen to that in their cars. But when they come into your establishment, make sure it's kind of upscale. The music is kind of different. So they can decide if they're going to stay and drink or if they're going to leave there and go back in their cars and put their rap tapes back on. I'm just saying. Back in the day when I worked at the Fantasy, they used to pass out suit coats or sport coats to gentlemen who came through the door. Excuse me, sir, where's your suit or your sport coat? Well, well, here you go. We have a whole bunch of them here in the closets, in the coat room. Here, pick one and put one on. Otherwise, we cannot grant you entrance into this club. How do I know? Well, my good friend CW used to work the door, and 9 times out of 10, he either had on a suit or a tuxedo, and that ran people off. Yeah, if you can't dress the part, then go somewhere else. Go in the parking lot and drink. Somebody else's parking lot, of course. Here's BBD, something in your eye. Mm, mm, mm. Oh man. You want the brain. Tell me when will I see you smile again? That is Belle, Biv, and DeVoe right here on Bedtime Stories. With the Peanut Butter Brother, Dr. Al Greer. Of course, they've been touring as, New Edition, BBD, and of course, each one of them have had solo albums with the exception of Ronnie DeVoe and Mike Tresvant, and Michael Bivins. Don't shoot me, Biv. Okay, I know what you have in that briefcase. But anyway, um, the group is a group within themselves, or three groups within themselves. Johnny Gill, of course, does lead. He had several albums out. Um, our foreplay artist, he's had one album out. They toured as Heads of State, which was Bobby Brown, Ralph Tresvant, and Johnny Gill. But I remember seeing them perform at the Erie Crown Theater. And I was like, man, they like Little Temptations. Love the show. Love the show much. Speaking of foreplay, it's next here on Bedtime Stories. We're WOSD Radio DB Chicago, WRLN Radio, a Ray Neal media station, WBOE, the best of everything, owned by Reggie Miles, the professor of walking. And of course, My Jam Radio, which I haven't checked yet, but I'm pretty sure we are.
Sunday, June 7th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Columbus Art Refectory, 5701 West Jackson Boulevard. There'll be games on wheels, free health screenings, a Michael Jackson tribute show featuring Rico Michael Jackson, Middle Eastern dance lessons, and music by Dr. Al Greer of WOSDRadio.com. It's free and open to all ages. To register, learn more, and purchase VIP tickets, visit www.purepluscares.org. www.purepluscares.org. Check-in will be required upon arrival. That's Sunday, June 7th, from 1 until 5 p.m. at the Columbus Park Refectory, 5701 West Jackson Boulevard. It's a survivor celebration on National Cancer Survivors Day. Brought to you by Night Out in the Parks and Pure Plus.
Hey, what's up? It's your boy, Life Coach Jeff, and I'm here to let you know about the hottest bowling alley in town called Strikes and Bites, located at 2524 Ridge Road in Lansing, Illinois. Man, listen, if you are looking for activities to do during the week, I'm about to let you know. On Monday night, they have Senior Bowl from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. On Tuesday night, Taco Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. On Wednesday night, $3.50 games from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. And on every first and third Thursday, you have Step and Bowl from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And on every fourth Thursday, you have R&B Bowl from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. And once again, that is Strikes and Bites, located in Lansing, Illinois at 2524 Ridge Road. To inquire for more, give them a call at 708-474-6707 or visit strikesandbites.com. And you can also check them out on all social media platforms at Strikes and
Make sure you call and check and see if the lanes are open. I heard the lanes were closed, but all the music activities are going on, especially first Mondays with Sam Chapman and Big Papa. And tell them your nighttime girlfriend, Kim Patterson, said. What's up with the ribs? Are they hot? Are they tender? Did they fall off the bone? We want to know. Anyway, it's time for foreplay. I don't know how we skipped over this brother's birthday. I guess because he was born around the same time that our Janet Jackson was born, and that was May 16th. So he got overshadowed because, well, who's going to not mention that it's Miss Jackson's birthday? Well, this gentleman, he's a singer, a songwriter, an actor, a record producer, and the lead singer of the R&B group New Edition. He released an album in 1990. He began touring with Bobby Brown and Johnny Gill as a group called the Heads of State. After a dispute with money, over money, I should say, New Edition left to sign to MCA Records, only to find out that they signed to Jump and Shoot Productions, which they didn't know. They, of course, got out of that and signed directly with MCA Records. He put out an album called Stone Cold Gentleman, and of course, he's included on one of the singles that we're going to hear tonight. I don't know how we skipped him, but we're sorry. Happy birthday to a gentleman by the name of Ralph Tresvant. This was his biggest hit as a solo artist, and the rest, of course, with New Edition. Ralph Tresvant, born on May 16th, Ralph Edward Tresvant Jr. Hope that makes up for it, sir.
Tell me why. Clarinet. Well, being in a house with someone learning how to play clarinet was awful. Yeah. That's awful. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the clarinet. Me, the clarinet is a white man's saxophone. Yeah. You shot your special at your alma mater at Southampton University, which is, I would imagine, an emotional experience to be back there. It was, yeah, full circle moment. And then it was just, Hampton is HBCU, so it was just beautiful to go back and just perform in front of that crowd and to bring my audience onto campus, so it was just a beautiful night. Do you remember it? Did memories come flooding back to you as you walked around? Well, campus has changed so much, it's
Let's do some foreplay with Al Greer on Bedtime Stories.
There's so many more improvements. Like our cafeteria was just old and not a lot going on, and now this cafeteria, it's got gluten-free options and all this other stuff. We didn't have any choices. No. We only had one choice, and that was gravy or no gravy. That was it. We had this woman, and she was a lovely woman. We called her the gravy lady. And she would just stand at the end of the line, and you get your food, and she would just go gravy, baby, and you had to pay attention because if you didn't answer her, you would get gravy. You just get gravy, right? So gravy on my fruit cup. Okay, I gotta look alive out here. The gravy lady is no more. No gravy lady. No gravy lady. Oh, that's what? They do have a little memorial with her for her. Yeah, it's like a little ladle. Yeah, it's a gravy baby. Yeah, she was gravy baby. Yeah. Wow. And you have a movie out right now, which is not something I was aware of. A dramatic film. Yes. Yeah. That's exciting. Yeah. Is it your first dramatic role? It's my first dramatic role. A lead role. It's called Undercard, directed by Tanika Miller, and it's a movie about family and reconciliation, but it's set in the world of boxing, which I love. So yeah, you're a fight fan, right? Yeah, former boxing. That's exciting. Yeah, it's great. So it's you can rent it now on Amazon Prime and whatever. You're saying it to me like I know what it is. Yeah, where you can get it? You can, any place where you can rent a movie. Oh, okay. That's where you get it. Blockbuster, you mean? No, Jimmy. No, Jimmy. That's not. Did something happen? Did something happen? You got it. Well, it's great to see you. The special is very, very funny. It's called Wanda Sykes' Legacy. You can watch it on Netflix now. Wanda Sykes.
Right now, living with COPD is hard, but more could be going on. And here is how you find out your COPD may be different, and Nucala could help. The inflammation triggering your flare-ups could be caused by eosinophils. Nucala helps target that inflammation.
And back to Facebook. Mm.
I can tell you what I need.
Yeehaw. Kevin Brooks, what's going on, sir? How was your day, Kevin Brooks? And how was the weather down there? Our weather was lovely today for some strange reason. Because last week it was like in the 50s. This week so far, it's been nice. Now, whether it's going to stay like this or not, we don't know. You know, you grew up in Chicago, so you know. You know. If you don't like Chicago weather, just wait, it'll change.
Let's do some foreplay with Al Greer on Bedtime Stories.
Grace Jones. Yeah, that's right. I didn't forget about Grace. I'm just waiting to be done with Ralph first. See if I can do some Grace Jones. Slave to the rhythm, slave to the rhythm. Nope. All I got is pull up to the bumper. The nipple to the bottom of the side is fine. The nipple to the bottom, now the cow must die. Yeah, say it like that. Now the cow must die. This girl. Wrapping up foreplay on Ralph Tresvant, along with New Edition. And there's a jealous girl in our town. And a jealous guy, too. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello to my brother from another mother, Kevin Brooks, who says it was 89 degrees in Atlanta. I think it got up to 80 here today. You know, off and on, it looked like it was about to rain. But I was like, okay. It rained for a hot second. Everywhere else, they say it was pouring down. My sister was unable to leave town today. I wish she had left today instead of tomorrow, because now I have to get up early in the morning. Yeah, but that's okay. I have the rest of the day to do Al Greer stuff. Whatever Al Greer stuff is. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. This is Bedtime Stories. And this guy hit 3 times with the same song. Once in 1962, again in 1965, and then again in 1980. Who are we talking about? My uncle, Eugene Drake Dixon, aka Gene Chandler, the Duke of Earl. This is Rainbow 80 on Bedtime Stories. Yeah. Baby, 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 baby. Stop this rainbow in my heart. the great Gene Chandler, To Be a Lover, right here on Bedtime Stories. With your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Hello once again to Sister Lizzie, aka DJ Sky. Happy belated birthday to you. It is your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. Kevin Brooks says, happy birthday to Grace Jones. She celebrated her 78th birthday. Grace Jones. I like the parody that they did on Grace Jones on In Living Color by Kim Wayans. Do you find me sexy? Well, do you? Yeah. Had her had her in a boxing match. I'm like, oh, Grace Jones would kill anybody in a boxing match. I mean, look at her. She is fierce. And she had some of the best lines in the movie Boomerang. Oh boy, if I could only repeat them. Anyway, it's your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer, with my good friend and brother, Mr. Paul Richmond. A song that he did with his group, the Amusement Park Band. He recently redid it all by himself. This is Oh No on Bedtime Stories. Have to happen in a moment like this. Yeah, baby, baby. I'm sorry, baby. Start all over again. Oh, my baby. No, no, don't you say you have to go. Go away, girl. No, 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 no. I love you so. Said I love you, baby. How could I be so careless, so foolish to be, and too blind to see? I was losing this slowly but sure. Oh, baby, what's wrong with me? I wanna know, but girl, before you call it a day, I just wanna say, darling, I really need you. What's the oldest version?
We've had 50-year-old versions in here before. There's disabled people, men out there that and women that can't have a normal connection with other humans, so they come here and it's easier. Some do have mental disabilities. We have people that come in and they don't want to move on. They're widowers or widows and they still want to be able to have a connection with us. It's usually something more short term than long term. And I've also been able to see customers that can build a relationship with me, and then they feel comfortable using it with other people, building relationships with other people.
Alyssa's last comment here about transferring relationship skills clients develop with her to start real or unpaid relationships reminds me of Matt McMullen's earlier comment about sex robot owners eventually being able to do the same. Whether or not that'll be the case, there are other similarities among the clientele.
Mostly I hear from people that are now everyone's gonna know that part's somewhere in the middle. I had a very traumatic childhood. I grew up struggling. I finally got married, and I had 2 children with this woman, and she cheated on me with my best friend, and I never want to have a relationship again. I love the idea of this doll while I figure out what I want to do next. That's more realistic. Or I've had this disorder all my life, and I can't even go out in public, and I'm very lonely, and I love technology, and I want this robot to keep me company in my house. And medical reasons, I cannot leave. That's more realistic. We all know someone in our lives who is awkward socially and who has a hard time engaging in conversation. And maybe we think they're a little weird or they're a little off. Something's up with Bob. I don't know what his deal is. But that doesn't make them any less human or make them any less in need of having that companionship.
There are all sorts of reasons why millions and millions of people in this world have no one. And
I am both male and female. I have XY chromosomes, but I'm a woman. At 16 years old, I hadn't started puberty, and so when I went to see the doctor, I learned I was intersex.
When the doctors explained to us that they found no ovaries, it was kind of a shock.
I knew from a young age that I wouldn't be able to have kids, but that didn't really stress me out too much until I started dating. Today, I'm going on a blind date, and I'm nervous to see what my date will think about me.
I got USA because my dad's
So is having kids like something you see for yourself in your future?
This is basically how I get my estrogen. It's just a standard birth control pill that I take. I actually get 4 packs each time I get it so that I just get a period every 3 months. Basically, with my condition, I'm pretty much in menopause if I don't take it. Growing up, people didn't know I was intersex because externally, the doctors considered me a girl. By the time I was 16, I hadn't gotten a period or started going through puberty. And so we had to go to my pediatrician to kind of see what was going on. They saw that I had a uterus, but it was really small because it wasn't developing. And where my ovaries should have been, they weren't developing as well. And so that's why I wasn't getting any estrogen that would trigger that puberty. It was really awkward because everybody's already gone through puberty, and I'm like buying my first bras in late high school and just learning how to use tampons and pads. I definitely felt a little different. I feel like, why am I younger than everyone else physically? Like, why have I not matured in that way? And it was just weird. I feel like starting out, to me, intersex meant this is taboo. I don't want to tell anyone about it. I just had a lot of anxiety around it. In the past couple of years, I feel like it was kind of exciting because it just made sense. Like, oh, I'm not just this or that. I'm different. And that was okay with me.
I got USA because my dad's
In the mirror now, I feel like I've definitely come into my own. I'm still growing, but like overall, I just feel more confident in myself. Since openly identifying as intersex is something I'm really proud of. Hey,
How's it going?
good. How about you? I am 6 feet tall. I wear size 11 shoes. I can palm a women's basketball. It kind of just reshaped my view of all things gender and how that's looked at in society. So basically, want to create like a wildlife habitat for all the butterflies. I'm creating a space where all of these butterflies can transform and come into their own, which is kind of similar to me. Like I have to take my hormones, my estrogen, in order to go through puberty and like just become a full-blown adult. These tiny little ones are the master. My mom supported me through the whole process by being the one who's taken me to my doctor's appointments, my surgeries, caring for me in the aftermath of those surgeries. She's always been there for me.
When the doctors explained to us that they found no ovaries, it was kind of a shock. And then the first thing that you said before I could even kind of put everything together or think about it, you said, oh gosh, I guess I'm just not going to be able to have babies. For you to be that age, if that's the first thing for you to think about, that's kind of heartbreaking, you know.
I knew from a young age that I wouldn't be able to have kids. I'm sad for my mom not being able to have like grandchildren for me, but it didn't really stress me out too much until I started dating later in college. When I was still dating men, I would worry about telling the person and if it would impact how they felt about me, if they would want to continue pursuing a relationship with me, just based on the fact that I can't have kids naturally. It's definitely changed a lot now that I'm dating women. I can be open about it and feel comfortable with it.
What?
So I'm going on a blind date today. I want to see.
I guess you could say same song, same artist. Actually, Paul Richmond didn't sing lead on that song. It was originally done by his group, the Amusement Park Band. He redid it in his own voice, played all the instruments, everything. That is the Amusement Park Band. Before that, Paul Richmond and No. Right here on Bedtime Stories with your peanut butter brother, Dr. Al Greer. I wish I could play some Grace Jones music, but nah, I don't think she even has any slow love songs that we could play on the show. Any slow love ballads. You know, he was, good Lord. She was all about the rhythm. So happy birthday once again, Grace Jones, 78. I'm trying to put one foot in the grave there. Here's Force MDs. Love is a house. You got the key, baby. Then let me into your heart.
Nice to meet you. Where you from? Michigan. What you doing down here? Just going to shopping? I'm about to say, you got any spread? You can help me out real quick. I'm trying to get.
Mm-mm. Oh, yeah. Burp. No. Force MDs, and here I go again for Liz. That's going to do it for me, Al Greer. Thank you so much for staying up with me. To Kevin Brooks and everybody on Facebook. Till next time, blue skies, green lights and peace. Good night. Monique, thanks for staying up with me. And good night, everybody else. Nighty night. Would love to stay up, but gotta take my sister and my godmama to